Pot Limit Omaha. If you're coming from Texas Hold'em and just learning Pot Limit Omaha strategy, you might be thinking, man, so many hold cards. Don't worry, we're here to run you through some of the best pre-flop strategies in the game. By the end of this video, you'll be able to get the most common decisions right. Set yourself up for regular wins and long-term profit stacking. If you're just dipping your toes in the Omaha poker pool, we've got an intro to PLO video that might be the perfect place to start. This is the second video in our PLO series. All right, let's shuffle up and deal. Knowing how to play Pot Limit Omaha pre-flop is super important for helping you make one of the most important decisions in poker: choosing which hands to play. As good as it is to play winning hands, it's also crucial that you dump losing hands so they don't drain your bankroll. Success is as much about the hands you play as the hands you don't, said Doyle Negreanu. Or was it Daniel Brunson? Anyway, so let's get into what our PLO pre-flop ranges include and what they leave behind. Let's start with the basic idea that any PLO mastermind will tell you. This is not a game for weak hands. You'll often be involved in multi-way pots with lots of action. For that reason, you'll need to leave your Texas Hold'em brain in the trunk. No Limit Hold'em gives you the power to push people out. This is because no one wants to be out of position and potentially making decisions for their whole stack. And the drawing possibilities are far more restricted. But PLO is a different beast. Because of the drawing possibilities and the limited bet structure, lots of people will be participating in hands. This means that big draws and nut draws are your new best friends. Straights are good, flushes are better, and full houses are very strong. Your love affair with top pair and a good kicker, that's got to come to an end. We're also going to leave the starting hands chart behind and focus on ranked groups of hands. Recognizing these groups is fairly simple and will get you on the path to high percentage plays in PLO. The best group contains some familiar cards, starting with double-suited aces. This is a hand where you have an ace and another card of the same suit, plus another ace with a similarly suited card. Not only do you have a powerful pocket pair, but you could draw not one, but two nut flushes. It's enough to make even a pro grinder dizzy. A related hand is a double-suited 4 Broadways. This is a hand with two groups of suited cards, all of them ranked 10 or higher. Again, your draws are looking super nice here, and you're going to dominate most of the hands that are out there percentage-wise. Double-suited pocket kings are in the best group, as well as some other double-suited hands. Single-suited pocket aces are here, as are unsuited pocket aces with two suited Broadways, and single-suited pocket kings with 2 Broadways. Your poker strategy has changed somewhat from Texas Hold'em. You're now on a journey to crush people with powerful hands. Outplaying people at your favorite online casino is still possible, of course, but you really need to be heads up to make it happen. Let's review our second best group. If you're playing High Limit Omaha, you need to be choosy about what hands you play and when, and this group is still playable even in earlier position. Double-suited pocket queens are here, as are double-suited hands with middling connectors, plus that all-important suited ace that lets you draw to a nut flush. Unsuited pocket aces are in this group, along with single-suited pocket kings and single-suited Broadway cards featuring an ace. These hands can make you money, even against multiple opponents. Still with us? There's a couple more groups to cover, then we'll get into how to play pre-flop. The third group features okay-to-play cards, if you're in late position. Here, you can get in with double-suited jacks or mid-rank cards. You can also add in rainbow pocket aces, single-suited pocket queens, and certain other single-suited cards. PLO pre-flop ranges now move into conditional cards, playable if action is folded to you on the button. This is the place to loosen up and play double-suited mid-pocket pairs, double-suited connectors, rainbow pocket kings, and some of your pocket queens and jacks. Below this, you need to be careful with your pot limit Omaha pre-flop strategy. This is the end of playable range. You won't make the nuts often with these hands, and have a chance to get yourself into serious trouble. The end of the playable range features low double-suited pairs or other double-suited cards, rainbow pocket queens, single-suited pocket tens, and some other rainbow hands. Okay, we've covered some ground to help you put hands into categories. If you remember nothing else, just know that you're looking for big draws that compete well against a field of opponents you can't always bully out. Now let's talk about how to play pre-flop. Okay, let's talk about one of the biggest traps that PLO masterminds don't fall into. Irresistible pot odds. Because betting is limited, it's always going to look tasty to limp into a hand with 1-6 or 1-8 odds. The problem is, this is going to create a huge drag on your profits. You're going to get into tons of hands with the idea that expected value justifies a call, but just as often, you'll be dead in the water, beat out by better hands and better draws. Unlike Texas Hold'em, hitting that draw isn't going to make you a special standout. Your opponents have a great shot at hitting draws too. They're holding 4 cards and getting 5 community cards on the board. The things you connect with, they may connect with too, only your non-raising hands will be getting decimated. Let's say you have some rainbow connectors and you're one before the button. You've got Jack 10 9 8. 3 people call, creating a bit of a pot. And you say, with my cards, why not? You limp. The button raises, the small blind folds, and the big blind calls. The limpers all call, sending action to you with a growing pot and what looks like easy odds. You call the raise, and the flop comes out with 2 hearts. This, of course, misses you, but your straight is already made. You're stoked. You've made a hand. Of course, the people around you include someone with a set and an ace high flush draw. You hit your hand, but PLO has decided that you have no power here. What looked like irresistible pot odds are really more of a trap in PLO. The value of all hands are much closer together, and so your pot limit Omaha strategy has to take this into account. This brings up a related point. If you're in, be in with authority. Limping is quite weak in a game like Omaha with a limited betting structure. As people fold, choose strong hands, make pre-flop raises, and get some of the other players' garbage hands out of your way. Get into a situation where you have a shot at taking control and maybe outplaying someone heads up. This is a much better way to take down pots in the long run. It also brings us to another point about strong betting. In Omaha, a 4-bet is the maximum. But it often sends such a potent message that you need to have it in your arsenal. Most of the time, you're 4-betting your double-suited aces hands, no matter what position you're in. Opponents are just going to have to pay you when you're dealt these hands. Double-suited rundowns are also workable. You can include 4-betting as a part of your pot limit Omaha pre-flop strategy. Then you need to have a few responses post-flop. You can 4-bet post-flop when you've got a draw and the board isn't showing king or queen. This gives you a shot to get a fold. If you don't connect, you're probably out. And if you're semi-connected, you may just consider calling. If you're in position, you can also spice up your play by 4-betting double-suited rundowns, even if you don't have an ace. You can get into a situation at a table where people have recognized you're playing tight. This is a way to show that you could have a wider range of cards, which puts your opponents on the back foot. They can't rely on you having aces, and now you're giving them much harder decisions. You can also draw to decent hands without blocking their strong pairs. If you're holding Jack 10 8 7 and a 9 and an ace come on the board, you might just surprise that person who still thinks top pair is the best hand since online casinos invented turbo sit-and-goes. As always, know what you want to do with your 4-bet. Are you making inferior hands pay, or are you bluffing out a decent hand by representing a monster? Have a working theory of your opponent's hand so that you don't galaxy brain yourself into bleeding away money in situations that don't justify it. Let's check out a couple of what-if hands, just to cement our knowledge here. You're dealt double-suited aces and are first to act. Are you raising and trying to clear people out? Or do you want to build a big pot in the hopes of landing a monster hand? The answer may depend on your table culture. If you're putting up a billboard that says you have aces, you need to be aware that some players are going to call a big pot in late position in the hopes of surprising you with a trap hand. What about our double-suited queens in mid-position? Do we call a bet and maybe get caught in between a strong early hand and a pressure player willing to raise in later position? We can call them here, but if the bet is raised by a late position player and re-raised by the early player, we're probably dumping the hand. How about in late position? How would you like to play your rainbow pocket aces? Here, you probably want to bully people out if possible. And post-flop, if the board is leading to a lot of draws, you're going to have a lot of trouble getting rid of opponents. You can try raising people out, but if you've got callers, your aces are probably no good. It's a tough hand to play post-flop for sure. Hopefully, this guide helps you in building your pot limit Omaha pre-flop strategy. Stick to the strong hands and strong plays and let go of the Texas Hold'em habits that won't work at a table full of cards and draw-hungry opponents. Adding to your poker skills by playing variations is a great way to become a more complete player. Good luck, and may your PLO draws be monstrous.